Hello, I'm Karen George and I'm the author and illustrator of Mr. Mornington's Favourite Things. I'm so thrilled that it's made the shortlist for the Spark Book Awards. The fact that children have voted for it makes it all the more special, so thank you very much. Mr. Mornington's Favourite Things is about memory and music and friendship, and the story is told by Minor. So I'm going to let Minor introduce Mr. Mornington. My friend Mr. Mornington has always lived next door to us. His favourite things are gardening and eating cherry cake and wearing his woolly hat and playing his saxophone. We have a deal. Mr. Mornington fills our garden with music and we fill his tummy with cherry cakes. He loves them so much, he made me a special gate so I can take them round to him. Mr. Mornington has played his saxophone to lots of people all over the world. He said he's a bit tired of all that travelling, so now he plays it just for me. Mr. Mornington says we make a great team. We even have our own special song. It's all about remembering your favourite things. When Mr. Mornington plays it, I remember all of mine. I think Mr. Mornington is the best saxophone player in the world. Sadly, Mr. Mornington becomes more and more forgetful. Minor's very good at helping him remember things, like changing his slippers before he goes shopping. And he does remember that she loves to play his saxophone, although it's much too big for her, so it's very tricky. He says if she had a saxophone her own size, he could help her be the second best saxophone player in the world. But sadly, before he could help her, Mr. Mornington has to move away, and Minor worries that he's forgotten about her too. Minor's mum said he hasn't forgotten about her. He's just gone to live in a new home where he can be looked after, like she looks after Minor. Minor decides to learn to play their special song on her new saxophone. Practices very hard, and she plays it to him every time she goes to visit him. He doesn't always remember, but that doesn't stop her playing, because just sometimes he does remember all his favourite things. There are lots of my favourite things in the book, and in fact their special song is one of my favourites, and it's the inspiration behind the story. The version that I love is called Favourite Things, and it's by a really famous saxophone player called John Coltrane. In the book, there are lots of my favourite things as well, and things that I'm very fond of and like to remember. Up here on the cover is my first car, which was a Renault 4. And down here is my cat, Dr. Calamari, who seems to get into quite a lot of my drawings. At the bottom here, there's a plant, and it's called a bird of paradise. And that reminds me of my nan, because she grew a really big one once and she was so proud of it. My nan's inside the book as well. Here she is in Mr. Mornington's new home. And she's crocheting a blanket. I've got a lovely blanket that she crocheted for me. And on the plate here are her favourite pink wafer biscuits. My favourite cakes when I was very small were cherry cakes, and that's why they're Mr. Mornington's. It was a good excuse. They're lovely to draw as well because I like drawing the cherries on the top. But at the back of the book there's a recipe for Mr. Mornington's cherry cakes. Perhaps you could bake some for your friends or your family, and you could listen to Favourite Things by John Coltrane, and then you'll know what their special song sounds like. And perhaps it will make you remember all of your favourite things. Remembering all of mine has made me really happy. I hope the book makes you happy too.